Your conference trustees and the cabinet are asking each local congregation to perform a safety review on all church properties at least once a year, and to report to the charge conference that the inspection has taken place in the current year. The purpose behind this is simple: to maintain a safe environment for members of our churches and guests alike in which to worship and congregate in Christian fellowship, and to maintain and preserve our tools of ministry. On average, there are some 40 to 50 incidents each year on our church properties where an injury occurs. The most disturbing part of this is that people are getting hurt. Many of these are slips and falls that could very well have been prevented had proper action been taken in a timely manner. In addition, tens of thousands of dollars are paid out each year as a result of these accidents. From a property damage standpoint, the numbers are even more significant. Numbers of claims average between 150 and 200 each year. And damages to our houses of worship result typically in an excess of $1 million being paid out annually for repairs. We know not all losses are preventable, but surely some are. Partnering with the Conference Property and Casualty Committee are Engel, Hambright, and Davies, who serve as insurance broker, and Philadelphia Insurance Company, our carrier for property, general liability, including abuse, automobile, and management and professional practices liability insurance. Why are we recommending this self-inspection? The ultimate goal of our safety review is to prevent injury and to protect our tools of ministry. In addition, we provide training that will help identify possible safety issues on the final walkthrough at the completion of a building project. While we cannot address every possible circumstance, we hope to alert you to some of the most common hazards and risks. And finally, we hope to see improvement in the risk profile of every church in the conference. Our conference must have a viable and cost-effective insurance program in order to operate. The pricing we receive from the insurance carrier each year is based in part on our previous claims performance, along with the number of our proactive efforts to reduce risk. For example, fully implementing safe sanctuaries. If each congregation can do their part in improving their own circumstances as it relates to the potential for a loss, a claim, this benefits the entire conference and improves our circumstances as a whole. The cost of insurance is critically important. However, some of the items we discuss in this training will help prevent serious injury to those we love, care for, and/or who are guests on our properties. That is the reason your attention to these matters is so critical. To help guide you through your building, we have posted a checklist on our conference website. Now let me take you through the steps to locate the safety checklist. First, go to the conference website, www.susumc.org. Click About Us at the top, select Finance and Administration, and then Property and Casualty Insurance. This brings you to this page. On the right side, you will find the self-inspection checklist. The safety inspection is not a budgeting exercise, at least not at this point. Its purpose is to identify opportunities where you can improve the safety of your church. And here's a tip that might help you see things you may have overlooked in the past. Don't go in the door through which you usually enter. Choose a different entrance, and then really try to adjust your perspective to that of a first-time guest and the vulnerable populations that utilize your building, small children and/or people with disabilities. One of the largest potentials for claims is related to church-owned vehicles. There are some low-cost or no-cost resources available to you from our insurance company if you're looking to change or improve your circumstances. Many are fairly simple. but it is too late once an accident happens. So it is important to have procedures in place that are followed without exception by all persons using church-owned vehicles. Here's another important tip. To help make certain this information is in the vehicle when it is being used, some churches include it in a plastic folder along with the keys. The entire folder is then given to the driver each time the vehicle is checked out. Risk of fire is the major concern with church kitchens. When commercial-grade equipment is present, it's important to have the accompanying fire protection measures in place, along with the appropriate maintenance of this equipment. Commercial cooking is defined by the use of deep fat frying and/or commercial-grade flat grills. The volume of cooking also determines the frequency of cleanings of the exhaust hood and ductwork. Different rules apply if you have a residential stove in your church and you're only using it to heat water. Class K fire extinguishers are silver in color. As a property owner, a church has the duty to maintain the premises in a manner free from material defect. Slips and falls can be very costly in terms of serious physical injury and/or dollars paid out on claim. If you can catch the toe of your shoe on a walking surface, it needs to be fixed. Handicap parking stalls, along with the path to the entrance, should be maintained in perfect condition. Be mindful of rain gutter discharges. They should never discharge onto walking surfaces. Marking the clearance height of building overhangs will be especially appreciated by delivery truck drivers. Several churches in the conference allow the use of the parking lot by third parties during the week. It is important to secure a signed user agreement for these situations. A copy of the user agreement can be obtained from the conference website or by calling Margie Follett at EH&D. Trees and bushes should never be touching a building. And in areas where children play, trees and bushes should be trimmed to allow for complete supervision of the play area at all times. Wooden and residential playground equipment is not as durable as commercial equipment. Remember, the more the equipment is used, the more often it should be cleaned. This is especially important for areas that are protected from rainwater, such as tunnels. If you have loose surfacing material, such as mulch or rubber chips, it is important to regularly reposition this material under the equipment. Its sole purpose is impact absorption. It is a good idea to keep a well-organized file on playground equipment in the church office. All documents related to the playground should be kept in one place. Many buildings in the conference have had multiple additions to them over the course of their existence. This can lead to confusion for individuals who do not frequent the facility. If you have third parties using your building, giving them a key that only allows limited access can be important. Test your building's emergency lighting units regularly. There is a push to test button on most units. However, if your building is on a backup generator with 10-second power up, this will not be necessary. Emergency lighting units should be numbered so that everyone is tested routinely. Emergency evacuation diagrams are an important communication item for visitors especially. They should be displayed at the entrances to large gathering areas within the building, such as the fellowship hall and sanctuary, along with areas used by third parties. And each classroom should also be provided with an emergency evacuation diagram. If you have an AED, make sure the device is operational. Check for the green light. The unit should be prominently displayed so that it is readily accessible in an emergency. Stairs and stairwells are never to be used as storage areas. Storage of combustible materials in stairwells is prohibited. A relationship with a qualified and trustworthy electrical contractor can be the key to proper maintenance of a church's electrical system. Does your building have surge protection? If not, see the Quick Link article related to this topic. It's archived on the conference's website. Extension cords should be temporary only. Extension cords are a very common hazard, especially at holiday times. There should be no combustibles stored in the boiler room, and the current boiler inspection certificate should be posted. Especially with older buildings, the overhead clearance in the stairwell presents the possibility of an injury. If modifications to the overhead clearance are cost prohibitive, at the very least, mark it in some manner as to draw the attention of those using the stairwell. Interior fire-rated doors are a critical element to controlling the spread of fire within the building. A fire-rated door will be marked on the inside surface of the door where the hinges are. Remove rubber wedges and/or stoppers from these doors immediately. If the doors are held open by magnets connected to the fire system, that is fine, as they will release and the doors will close automatically if fire is detected. Due to the potential for cleaners and other chemicals to be used in a manner other than that for which they were intended, they should be kept in a locked closet at all times. The use of open flame as part of worship services has been a long-standing tradition of religious institutions worldwide. From a risk standpoint, it would be best to eliminate the use of open flame entirely and employ one of the candle alternatives that are available in the market today. If open flame is used, then it needs to be done under careful supervision. At the very least, lighters and matches should be kept secured. This includes in the pulpit area. The use of open flame in classrooms with children of any age should be minimized or eliminated altogether. Drop rail cribs should be removed immediately. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has a free one-page article highlighting features of cribs that should be removed from service. Drop rails are just one of the unsafe features. Although not necessarily safety related, the Property and Casualty Insurance Committee would also want to remind you of the importance of good financial controls. For more information or for answers to your safety questions, please feel free to take advantage of these resources. Thank you for your serious commitment to helping improve safety in our conference churches.